Okay, so this topic's going to talk about website security. I'm just going to go through some of the things you should be considering to make sure your website is secure as it possibly be. I've already said why it's important. Google will not want to send traffic to a website that's insecure, and if your visitors land on your website and realise it's insecure, they're probably not going to stay around for very long. So how do you secure your website? Well, Squarespace is pretty straightforward because it's a cloud-based hosted website, so they have obviously a whole team of people providing that service on your behalf. They'll sort out the SSL, and other security measures, so you don't need to worry about that kind of solution. Squarespace and Wix, that sort of thing. If you're on a portfolio site like SmugMug, Zenfolio, Pixieset, similar situation, you're not responsible for the security, apart from, I guess, arguably your password security. But they will have, the provider will have their own security measures in place. Okay, WordPress is definitely vulnerable from a security point of view, and WordPress websites are routinely hacked and targeted. So you need to take some steps to make sure that the website is secure and it's backed up. At an absolute minimum, and this is something that is a ranking factor, is that you should have an SSL certificate installed. And in the course here, there's details of a link, a free service called SSLshopper.com, and they sell SSLs, but they have a testing link which you can do just to check that your website has an SSL secured SSL certificate installed. If you don't, it's something you need to sort out with your host, and typically these days hosts will have them for free. So if you're on SiteGround or GoDaddy, that sort of thing, that's when you'll be able to add your SSL security. You have to have it as a minimum. Other things you should definitely consider on WordPress is a security plugin, something like Wordfence, which I use and is very, very popular indeed, and that adds in extra layers of security to stop things like brute force, password hacking attempts, and other things. It changes within the database and structure of the website to provide extra protection. That's definitely something you should consider. Other things, you can change something called the HSTS header and add some data into your WordPress HT access file, and that provides an extra layer of security. And you could also consider something called a cloud delivery network, something like Cloudflare, again can provide extra layers of security. The topic of WordPress security is fairly detailed, but certainly what I have done is have an SSL, have Wordfence in place, added the HSTS header, and I have a CDN. And if everything goes wrong, I also have a backup, and I have a daily backup in place. You absolutely want to know that if something gets hacked and you only notice a week later, that you can wind back to a previous version. So I would make sure, just have a look over all your stuff now to make sure it is secure. So check your SSL, consider what WordPress security plugins you might need, do you have a CDN, etc. And obviously make sure you've got a backup in place.